Religious pluralism and society then. So top first box please. The first thing we looked at was how did we become a multi-faith society? And so this is how we developed into, this is how contemporary multi-faith societies develop. Christianity, like all other religions, has to come from somewhere else. This all goes in the top first box, please. Christianity was introduced by the Romans, lived alongside other religious views. We're talking way back, we're not talking recently. Centred around agriculture, fertility and ancestry worship. They were often very popular religious views that people looked to. Native Americans looked to things like the sun and nature, etc. So agriculture, fertility. These were very common, can still be found in things like Hinduism, etc. And so the Romans brought Christianity and it lived alongside other religious views as well until the 7th century when Christian missionaries established it as the primary faith. So it was Christian missionaries who came and said, no, Christianity is the only religion, the only way to worship. A multi-faith society by definition, so all of this goes in the top box, is when you consider significant populations of people from different religious backgrounds. So multi-faith society is where you have a lot of people from different backgrounds. This, of course, was going to happen. This was always going to happen to this country because of travel and because of communications development. People moving for work, for a better quality of life, or because their home country was unsafe. So travel came far easier to do. Travel became far cheaper to do as well. Communications developed. So developments in communication, you were able to speak to people in other countries far more easily. They could see what your lifestyle was like, what their lifestyle is like, and you can start to see how you can merge these cultures together. People moved for work, for a better quality of life, or they were moving away, sort of asylum seekers, people moving away from where their homeland was unsafe. Naturally, when people arrive in a foreign country, they want to live amongst people who are related to them or share the same language and beliefs. And so this is why, for example, we have Chinatown in London. So Chinatown in London came about because we had a large influx of Chinese who all came, lived together, and it created a culture within a culture. This is quite a good place to start an introduction or start an essay. You don't have to go into great depths and details, but you have to show that you are at least aware or understand what it means by multi-faith and how this happens, so how multi-faith societies come about. Box underneath, at this stage it's important to bring in some statistics, something to back up what you're going to argue. And you have to bring in names, arguments, evidence, statistics, BBC News articles, something to make your essay have substance. So this is something you could use. It is the census between 2001 and 2011 between England and Wales, and it looks at the religious views of the population. And so what we found when we first looked at this, and I know the numbers are quite hard to see on the big screen, but in 2001, nearly 72% of the population were Christian, whereas now only 59% are Christian. So that's quite a significant drop, and in looking at numbers, that's 37 million down to 33 million. And so we're looking at millions dropping from Christianity, whereas atheism was 7,700,000, whereas now it's 14 million. So atheism has nearly, or no religion, sorry, people that classify themselves as no religion, it's nearly doubled. And so this sort of information is very, very important. You don't have to remember these specific figures. And this is the latest one that we've got as well. So don't think, oh, it's out of date from 2007. No, because we won't have the next one until 2021. And so this is what you can reference and show how Christianity is on the decrease, no religion is on the increase within England and Wales.